Hi, welcome to the third part of the introduction to Excel. The name of this part is matrix calculations. And let's start with calculating the covariance matrix. We have 5 stocks, and therefore our matrix will be 5 by 5. Let's place our covariance matrix here. First, we choose the 5 by 5 area and press F2. So we're gonna place our formula here. So equal, you open the bracket, 1 divided on, so here you have to type in the length of time series. What is the length of time series? For sure you can probably see it if you scroll it up and see which line is for the last value, which line is the first value, but the easiest way to do it is just to use Excel function count. So count, you choose the column and it will automatically give you the number of elements in this column. Okay, -1, we close the bracket, close the second bracket. Now we press multiply. Okay, multiply. Now we have to multiply two matrices. The function for it in Excel is mmult. Mmult, the first array would be the difference of two matrices. The matrix of returns, which would be n by k. N is the number of time series elements, k is the number of stocks. And then we subtract the mean vector from this matrix. Okay, let's choose this matrix over here. Let's highlight it. Okay, I have chosen the bottom row. Now I press Shift Control up. I remove my finger from Control, twice down button. Then I press minus. Let's go down and highlight the mean. Okay, I close the bracket. Now I see that the resulting matrix should be transposed. So I type in transpose here, open the bracket, close the bracket. No, I actually don't have to close it because we already have one bracket here. Okay, the second matrix we have to put here is just already the difference of which we already had before. So I just copy it with Ctrl C and paste with Ctrl V. Now I close the bracket. Okay, now we have to press the magic combination of buttons. It's Shift Ctrl Enter. Shift Ctrl Enter. Don't be afraid of those zeros. This is just the wrong format of the cells. So let's allow 5 decimal or even 6 decimal places here. Okay, and now you see that covariance matrix actually is not 0. Okay, let's check that the element 2 1 is 0.000462 and it is great. We did our job very well. Okay, let's consider the portfolio weights which are given you in your introduction to Excel problem file. Okay, I just quickly type in those names. I just check that they're in the same order here. Credit Suisse, Nestlé, Novartis, Rocher, UBS. Okay. Okay, great. Now let's type in those weights. Okay, probably I will type in them in the decimal format, but I don't want it to be like this, so I copy the format. Okay. Okay, now we have weights for each stock, and let's check some of these weights is 1 or 100%. Okay, it's 1 or 100% depending on which format of the cell you have. Okay, let's calculate the portfolio mean. The formula for portfolio mean is multiplication of the portfolio weights on the vector of means of stock returns. Portfolio mean, portfolio var. Okay, let's do that. So we multiply weights, which are n, which would be k by 1. So it's a column vector, and we have to multiply them on the row vector of means, which is 1 by k. Okay, so we all remember the rules of multiplication, and so there are two ways to perform it. So first way is we have to transpose first the weights and then multiply them on the transpose means, because only then we would achieve the correspondence between the sizes of two vectors. The other way to do that is to multiply means of those stocks on the weights. So then we have 1 by k multiplied on k by 1 vector, and we get the one value. Okay, let's do like that. Mult, you choose 1 by 5 vector and you multiply it on 5 by 1 vector of weights. We close the bracket. Once again, shift control enter. The wrong format of the cell, I just copy format from here. Okay, great. We got the portfolio mean. What is a portfolio variance? We have to multiply weights on the covariance matrix and then on weights. Okay, so weights should be 1 by 5 vector, covariance matrix is 5 by 5, and then the final vector would be 5 by 1. Okay, so first 1 by 5. We press a mult. So in Excel, in order to do double multiplication, we have to use multiplication function once again. So once again, a mult. We multiply 1 by 5 vector of weights. Here it is 5 by 1, therefore we have to transpose it. Transpose. I choose this vector. So now it will be 1 by 5. And I multiply it with the covariance matrix. Error. Oh, okay. Because you should use here not comma but point comma. Okay. And now I choose covariance matrix. I close the bracket. And now, again, it's in column. And now I have to choose the third element on which we have to multiply. It's 5 by 1 vector of portfolio weights. Let's choose again this vector. Now we don't have to transpose it because it's already 5 by 1. I close a bracket. Do I have to close one more bracket? No, I don't. Okay. So now I press Shift, Control, Enter. Once again, wrong format. I don't think you're gonna have this problem as well. So I again change the format. Okay, maybe better to do like this. Okay, We computed portfolio mean and portfolio variance. Let's compute the annualized mean. Okay, to compute the annualized mean, I choose the portfolio mean and multiply it on 5200. We have 52 weeks in a year. That's why we should multiply by this number. And 00 is just converting it to percentage format. Okay, so you might have thought that, oh, portfolio mean is so small, but it's actually 3.5% per year. Okay, and we do the same for portfolio variance, which is almost 3. Okay. The final thing to do is to compute the time series of portfolio returns. How can you do it? So let's here compute the portfolio returns. We have to multiply them for each week. We have to multiply the returns on the weights, okay, and then we just drag down. So mult array 1 is the vector of returns. It's 1 by 5. We should multiply it on the 5 by 1 vector of weights. Great. Shift Control Enter. We've got the portfolio return over here. Now just you can press twice on this plus. Doesn't work. Okay, then we just scroll it like this down. Okay, so you see that we have a mistake here. But the problem is that when you do like this, the second vector of weights also goes down, so you have to fix it. How can you do that? You have to add the dollars over here. We should add dollars in front of the numbers so that they are fixed, and do not scroll down when we drag our plus. Okay, once again Shift Control Enter. Now we can press double on the plus. Okay, so just a control check here. We multiply the returns on the 21st of August 2007 on the weights. Okay, let's change the format of this column to percentage. Okay, now we have the time series of portfolio returns. What is the mean of this series? Just copy this over here and it already gives you the mean of this series. 0.26 and the variance. Okay, let's copy the format of portfolio mean, portfolio variance here. Oh, you get the same numbers. So here's the trick. We just have checked that we apply the formulas to calculate the portfolio mean, portfolio variance correctly. Okay, finally we are done with this long section. We can move further. Thanks for your attention.